Can life come from non-living organic molecules, not by chemistry alone? Now, what I mean by that is living things are made out of common elements that are in the earth, and actually it says God made Adam out of dust of the ground. Chemically that fits. So if you analyse our cells, yes, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, common elements of the earth, salts, sodium, chloride, all of those things. Those are all the component parts, but that's not life. To have life, you need genetic information. So DNA is actually a molecule, so it behaves like any other sort of piece of chemistry in terms of how the structure fits together. But the information is not in the chemistry. The information is in the organisation. So it's a bit like, say, information written on a printed page. You could describe the chemistry of the ink and the paper and explain why the ink is black and why it sticks to the paper and why the paper is white. You cannot explain the shapes of the letters because they were imposed on that. They use the chemical structure, so whatever put the information there takes advantage of the chemical structure, the fact that the ink will stick to the paper and stay there so that you can read it. But the actual information can only come from a mind. It does not come from the chemistry alone. So you cannot make life out of organic molecules, no matter what sort of rich soup that you have, what sort of primeval brew you've got, because you don't have the information. Life requires information. No information, no life, and you cannot get life just out of chemistry. Information comes from a mind. How did life begin? It didn't begin in Darwin's warm pool. You know that Darwin said that life could have begun in a warm little pond. Isn't that nice? And by various proteins and various electricity. It didn't begin in an experiment that a man did back in 1953 called Harold Miller, and he and another man called Harold Urey got together and they thought, well, we know what molecules there are in life, so we could brew those up and make organic molecules like amino acids. And he did it. He actually put in some very simple materials and he got amino acids, but those in themselves are not life. You cannot get life from just chemicals. So life can't start all by itself if you've only got chemicals. Someone has to put the information into the chemicals. So life can only begin by being created. So we can stand our ground and say, from looking at the science of life, where we have information plus molecules, there has to be an outside intelligence. So life began when the Creator made it. It didn't begin when the right sort of chemicals just happened to bash into one another.